Good afternoon, I'm Jason Gray, and in this week's book breakdown, we're going to be looking at Sell It Like Serhant by Ryan Serhant. Great book. Ryan Serhant is a top realtor in New York, and I think spread throughout the country. He's been on TV, he has a YouTube channel, he's in his mid-30s, great person, works like an animal, has a great thriving business, and has commissions upwards of $1 million, several $1 million per some of his largest deals. But he wasn't always like that. How did he get to where he is, and what tips and tricks does he have for us? That's what we're going to jump into today. So if you are in real estate, a real estate agent, you definitely have to get this book. But if you're just into sales or business or marketing, I think it's an entertaining read and a lot of practical advice in there. So I really enjoyed it. I'd probably rate it 8 or 9 out of 10 of the books that I read. So I'm going to share with you some of the top rules and ideas that he has in this book. First one is the 6 rules to more sales. So would you like more sales? Well, then you might want to follow these. 1, never hyper-focus on one ball. You don't live or die by one sale. So as a business owner or a salesperson, you're going to have lots of balls juggling in the air at all times. Don't focus on just one of them. You never wonder what's next because your next deal is already in the works. So you have to have a lot of balls in the air, and you always have things in the pipeline that are about to close. You're surrounded by opportunity, making contacts, gaining referrals, generating new business, always reaching for new balls. Number 4, you know that it takes as much energy to manage one ball as it does 4, 5, or even 6. So don't think you get to put all of your energy in just doing one or focus on there. Know that you can handle it all. And if you truly run out of capacity, that's where a team comes in and leverage. You control the flight path. You know which balls to handle first, which ones to deal with quickly, and which ones require more time and attention. So you do have to prioritize and eat the big frog first. And then lastly, number 6, you don't blindly toss the balls in the air. You care about where each one lands. Each one needs the right time and attention, and you're not just getting lucky throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. You're making it all work to the best of your ability. All right, next tips here. The Serhant way, take initiative. So what does initiative look like to you? Dig deep and find endurance that you need to make it over the finish line. It's easy to start something, right? In fact, you listen to a motivational video or talk and you say, oh, I'm gonna go do it like Gary Vee, and then you die out. So motivation will get you started, but your habits, your endurance, your why that keeps you going. Let your fear push you towards success. So all the top people, including Ryan Serhant, have fears, and when they get started, they have ginormous fears, but when they felt it, they felt the fear and moved forward anyways. Why? Because they really wanted what was on the other side of fear. So when you start feeling the fear, you say, that's too much, or that's too uncomfortable, or I'm not good at that, and I won't do it. You gotta tell yourself, wait a second, I'm giving up everything on the other side of fear that I really want or need because of this? No way, I'm gonna move forward. And lastly, never forget, nothing works without confidence. And you hear people say, faith it till you make it. So you might be scared shitless, but if you pray or you say your affirmations, or you're just taking the fear, the lack of confidence, whatever the doubt is that you're telling yourself, and you turn that to the exact opposite thought. I can do it, I will do it, they will be my client, I will make a huge difference in their life, this is gonna be the best day for them and for me, things like that over and over and over. You start to feel like it. Use strong posture, maybe not go crazy in front of somebody, but before you go into your appointment. The confidence will help, and it's contagious. Salespeople who close deals are relentless. Okay, relentless in a professional manner, but they're relentless. They do have empathy, so they listen and they understand where someone's coming from. They're patient, so I might be relentless, but that doesn't mean it has to happen today. I'm gonna follow up, follow up, follow up, follow through, follow back, and when the timing is right, here we are. They listen, like I said. You gotta bring a lot of value. So you might teach somebody something. You might give them a little bit. you go above and beyond, that's value. And sometimes it doesn't pay off immediately, but it will pay off. And you, of course, have to have respect. Respect for differences, for people thinking differently, for not always agreeing with your timing or your way. And just learn to adapt to those differences. So here's the Serhant way. 3 different points. The first one to write down is follow-up. So the follow-up has 4 points inside of it. So under follow-up, number 1, never expect people to get in touch with you. How many of you have given out business cards and people are so interested in what you're talking about? Oh, I'll call you. Oh, it's gonna be great. My mom will call you, my sister, my uncle, my coworker. And does that phone ring? 1 in 100 times, 1 in 50 if you're lucky. Unless you're some celebrity or just have like the cure to cancer, people aren't calling you, right? That doesn't mean don't give out your business card. It means that you need to control the point of contact and be the one following up. Follow up into either you get a yes or you read their name in the obituary. Follow up till they buy or till they die. Follow up with active clients every single day. So especially in real estate, there's a lot of moving parts. You guys stay on top of them on all the moving parts, all the changes, all the advice. If not, these people may change their mind of going with you or moving ahead or not think you're doing their job. Follow up is smacking the ball. It's the first step. So you hit that ball into the air. The second line to write down is the follow through. So there's 4 points under this. The first one, do what you say you're going to do. So if I tell you, oh sure, I'll take care of that or I'll get you that answer, I don't walk away and then go get distracted. As soon as I walk away from that, I put it on my calendar, my notepad, my to-do list. And then I'm gonna make sure it happens and then I'm gonna get it back to that person. Create accountability if you need to, for yourself, for your team. Never forget that you don't just have clients, but you have relationships. The best salespeople in the world, they're not the sleazy car salesman, do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now. People love them. They have good people skills. They listen, they bring value, they get you what you want. They provide a helpful service or product. So make sure you always have that relationship. And then follow through drives the ball to where you want it to go. Okay? And then the last heading there is follow back. So 4 points there. Keep in touch with past clients. Yeah, they can be a good referral source. They may have new needs. They may teach you something about your process they like or don't like. The next point is the relationship doesn't end when the deal's closed. It's a lifelong relationship and you gotta treat it that way and put in time and energy as such. The third point, touch base with clients that you lost. So things didn't go your way, touch base and learn from them. What could I have done differently? Or how's timing now? Or hey, here's what I've learned. Would you be open to this? And then lastly, follow back is your opportunity to get the ball back into play. So follow up, follow through, and follow back. All right, what else do we got for you? 3 more points here maybe? All right, his schedule, I want you to get the book, but his schedule, he starts at 4:30 in the morning. Waking up, eating, going to the gym, reading relevant articles to his industry, answering emails, getting his kids and family ready, and then at 8 a.m. he heads to the office and he works until about 6 o'clock. Of course, he's going to do things here and there, and he'll do some emails late at night, but gets started before a lot of people and still will answer some emails or calls late at night too. He also talks about as a business owner or a salesperson, usually you have the 3 things going on all times. You have to be the finder. So the CEO, right? The finder is the CEO who makes decisions about how to steer the business forward. The keeper is the CFO who makes decisions about the financial profile of the business. And the doer is like the soldier carefully executing all the work that leads to the business victory. So you, as a business owner or a solopreneur, you have to do it all, right? CEO, CFO, and the doer. And as you get bigger and better, you can have people run those different operations where they could be weaker moments of yours or skills that you have. And lastly, he talks about some things that you want to really think about, okay? So the first one is the why. Why do you do what you do? What's your why? Why are you doing your business? Why are you doing your job? Why are you going to school? What's the why behind it? And also the company, if you're with a company, what's their why? What's the mission? The second point is the work. What do you do every day to expand your business? Don't stay complacent. Don't go backwards. How do you expand it? The third thing is your wall. What are you running from? Everyone's running from something. And as you do better and get more and more successful, that wall might be bigger and higher, but you're going to run into it or not be able to climb over it until you realize it and work on your thinking and your skill set to just go crashing through it. And lastly, the win. What are you doing all this for? What's on the other side of fear? What's on the other side of comfort? Okay. This book has a handful of many more tips. I suggest that you go get it for sure. It's a good one. And I want to leave you with a story he told here. You know, he grew up wanting to be an actor, couldn't make it as an actor, was in New York, got a real estate license, was broke and struggling, and said, I have a license, why don't I use this and at least put food on the table? And as he started developing a very successful real estate career and building into business and other things, he got back into TV and ads and other stuff where now he's both an actor and a real estate agent and a business owner. But when he was getting started out, here's how he went above and beyond. Here's just one of many examples in the book. He had somebody call him from one of his ads saying, I'm in another country. I would love to have you get me this XYZ apartment in Manhattan. It was his biggest deal. It would be $300,000 or $400,000 of commission, and he was newer and broke. So imagine you having a chance at $300,000 or $400,000 in commission. You'd be super excited. But it's a weird email, so he calls the guy, he's talking to him, it's sounding legit. He starts doing work for the guy, finds him this apartment, the guy wants to put in an offer, it's all going great. The guy puts in the offer, they negotiate the terms, and then all of a sudden the buyer, the guy goes dark. And now the seller is getting nervous, and Ryan's getting nervous. And you can imagine, like, wow, did I just get played, or did I just waste all this time, or is this $400,000 going out the window? And he kept communicating with the guy, finally got the guy on the phone or on email. And now this is an idea. Let's say you live 2 hours away from somewhere and you really need to see somebody face to face for whatever you have going on. You could say, hey, Mary Jo, I'm gonna be out in your area tomorrow. Could I pop by and get some time with you? Even if you might not be out there, but guess what? If she says yes, you're gonna be in her area, aren't you? He did something like that. He said, hey, I'm gonna be flying to Paris. I think it was Paris. I'm gonna be flying to Paris this week. Can we get together face to face to sign the documents and finish this up? And the guy said, well, I guess, yeah, come by this area. He flew out there, couldn't find the guy, asked around, finally found him. The guy started signing paperwork. He went back to the States, was feeling good about himself, so he went above and beyond. He needed one more thing. I think it was the earnest money, and it was getting held up, not coming through. He kept on top of it, and guess what? It went through. And that launched his very successful career, and that person has bought other multi-million-dollar properties from him. He also has ideas of maybe some not as easy to sell apartment spaces in Manhattan where it would take a unique buyer to buy that, but he would stage them with certain parties or gifts or looks that might sound very crazy to you, but it's like, these are the type of people that probably like this, and what do you know? Those people that attend to it say, wow, this is the spot for me, and they end up buying it. So think about how you can get creative in your line of work, go above and beyond, follow up, follow through, follow back, great service, great value, great enthusiasm, keep going, keep going, keep going, and take those tips and pursue greatness. Until next time, guys, join me in the pursuit of greatness.